Yeah. Okay. And Gian Michael, do we have the that thing that does a transcription?
Yeah, you've got to have that plugin on your end because it's your meeting.
Yeah, I have that. Okay.
It's Tactic, I think.
Yes.
They've changed. They've updated it, so it's as long as you turn closed captioning on, it starts.
Okay. The closed captioning is on. The recording is on. Here we go. Here we are. You want me to take this?
Nope. No. Okay. So, first thing is Treasurer's Report. We had our first sale on Thursday, August the 6th, and our first donation on Monday, August the 10th. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
The first sale was for $29, and it is continuity, so that is monthly recurring, and that's I'll get into more details on the business model that we have set up. That was our first sale as of last week, 2 weeks ago now, and then our first donation was for $35. So that was deposited into the account this past week.
Cool. And we should have our second donation coming into you right after the beginning of the month when the students in my class re-up. So we'll see how many students re-up on their tuition, and when they do, we should have a nice check coming.
Okay, and just to let everybody know, I've been keeping everything floating as far as expenses go. It's being tracked for the Comella Foundation, but because I've just been really focusing on moving everything forward, getting everything set up, I haven't brought that into the conversation as of yet. I figured we'd be able to do that once we start having revenue, getting revenue going, and then we can talk about revenue and expenses related to all that. But right now, I've just been focusing on getting the business model set up so the nonprofit will be sustainable.
So that sounds good. Next topic is Comella Foundation Vital Stats Dashboard.
Yes. So that link that you click on goes to a dashboard that is tracking everything on the website. Traffic going to the blog posts, organic traffic to the site, everything. And it sorts it by date. It's and everything that you would look at, or anything you'd want to look at as far as the Comella Foundation goes. How much traffic is going to the site? What organic? What is being driven by the Google grant? It's all right there, and we have it from the beginning of the year when we got the website all set up. So that link goes to the dashboard, which, let's see, is giving us an idea of how much traffic is going and the performance of the Comella Foundation website.
So just a quick glance, it looks really comprehensive, which is great.
Right.
That takes us into our next topic, which is traffic to website. And so the Vital Stats Dashboard shows us what has already happened. You want to take the next topic of kind of how to get more traffic there?
Right now, we are maxing out our Google grant traffic. So were spending close to $10,000 a month driving traffic to the website. That was part of the process. In back in March and April, to create a critical mass as far as content on the website, so we can justify the full expense of the grant to drive traffic. Now, once we have the content on there, the website will take on a life of its own with the organic search traffic going to those specific keywords on there. So March and April, we got the critical mass as far as content goes. April and May, it took on a life of its own. And the more content we get on the website, the more that traffic is going to increase.
Okay, so our Google Grant status and keyword list.
So that document is a list of all current. Charlie, we get feedback. That document is updated every Wednesday, and that has the current trending Google keywords. That's a report that is given to us by our Google AdWords team. And so those trending keywords are keywords that can be chosen for content creators, business partners that are on the website that can choose from those keywords and write blog posts, do videos, podcasts that would go on the website. So that is the document that we have started, and that you can draw from the keywords for that week. And this is all going to tie together as a bigger orchestration of how the nonprofit is functioning right now, and how we're using the Google Grant as being like the engine to really move everything forward.
Okay, so that's perfect. Then we go to our task list.
Yes. Through this past 3 months, things have grown, and the amount of people coming into the conversation with the nonprofit, people doing things, it has grown significantly. So my ability to make sure all of the little tasks were completed was getting beyond my scope of being able to follow up with that. So I had Ashley and Craig, who are on the marketing team, put together this task list that allows me to keep everything up with what needs to be done, who needs to do it, when it needs to be completed by, what may be holding up the process, and it allows for when it is completed to be taken off the list, and other things to be added as well. So that was a streamlining of the system to be more efficient, effective, moving things forward.
Perfect. It looks great. Very well organized. Business development with Clinton.
Okay. So we were initially, I was previous to 3 months ago, we were getting people who were going to offer to do blog posts and podcasts and videos to put on the website for content. But we were running into the challenge with people who are volunteers. There's not necessarily a vested interest, and people are showing up and doing things. So I was speaking with my friend Clinton, who does business training, sales and business training. And what him and I began working on was setting up a funnel that would get holistic healthcare practitioners who are currently struggling with their business offline because of the pandemic, because of the situation of the world and what it is. And what we would do is offer online business training, how they can begin to offer their skill set, their talent, their abilities to help people out of pain, and where they can set up to either supplement or replace their income online to help people with pain. In exchange for the traffic that would be, we would get them essentially instant audience, partnering with the Comella Foundation. They would begin to get business training at different tiered levels. That is, if you go to that first link under the business development, Clinton Smith, you'll see the pricing plans that we currently have set up for the foundation. And what we were doing is this business training, and Clinton's is doing all of the sales conversations and all of the training. So that is taken care of. And we're driving both Google AdWords traffic as well as Craig and Ashley have offered to start a Facebook advertising campaign, which just went live this past week, to drive traffic to the page, which is the second link right below Clinton, the business strategy session page. So what we're doing is we're currently driving traffic through the Facebook ad as well as the Google AdWords ad to this page to get people on a phone call to sign them up for one of these levels in business training.
So with this,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, so what this means overall is that the model that that we had on our last board meeting, where I was talking about the 3 different facing segments of the foundation, is now fully operational.
Yeah.
And we just organically it fell into place, which I think lets us know that it's as it should be. It's so I think like major kudos to everything you did behind the scenes, because that eliminated that confusion that some people were having about, well, what does that model mean? I was able to have the conversation with Clinton in just almost as a sidebar. We weren't really supposed to be talking about that, but when we talked about it, it like all clicked, and now those three facing things morphed into something even bigger than that, because now all of those people that get involved with Clinton are actually going to be content producers for us as well.
Correct. Yeah, so it lined up really well. I was kind of guided and directed with help from various areas to that all fell into place. So that is fully operational at this point. That Vital Stats dashboard is now tracking all of the traffic that's going to that web page and seeing how far people are getting or where they're getting stuck and how we need to tweak and adjust that funnel to get more conversations with Clinton, and then Clinton converting those into business partners with the Comella Foundation.
Okay, so the Facebook ads with Craig and Ashley and the speed of the web page. What's been going on with that?
Okay. A big part of driving traffic to that business strategy page was recognizing the bounce rate that takes place with the speed of a web page that loads. So the slower a web page loads, the higher the bounce rate, meaning person will go, oh, they're on their phone. I click on the link. It doesn't quite load that fast. And then they leave. They're not going to wait that long for the page to get set up. So Craig and Ashley covered the expense to get that web page converted over to a newer technology that the page uploads in the better part of 0.2 seconds. Just to give you a contrast of that, the web page was uploading in about 1.8 to 1.9 seconds. Now, that isn't, in terms of speed, that's a second and a half or something like that. But in terms of internet time, that is significant, especially when we have people on iPhones and their patient and things like that. So Craig and Ashley, they're paying for the Facebook advertising, and they also paid for the upgrade of this website, and basically we'll be able to issue them a tax write-off for those expenses. So it was synergistic in that way. So it works for them, it works for us to get that set up. It also moves the needle forward to get the traffic to the business strategy page, because what we were running into with the Google AdWords is because it's technically free money and it's a competitive industry with business training online, we were ranking very low in the AdWords that we were spending because of the speed of the web page, because Google measures that, into because we were using their money in a very competitive industry. So what we're able to do is focus the money that Craig and Ashley are spending more effectively, more efficiently, because they would be paying for those ads.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah. So
Okay. Go ahead.
It's very like we make this one change here, but it's connected with so many different aspects of the business. So it's been getting that little tweak made and then adjusting everything in the website as it relates to that little.
Got it. And so we're starting a podcast in a few days?
Yes. I had the idea as an additional benefit for these business partners that would be coming on with the Comella Foundation, that we would do an interview, or I would do an interview, a video interview with these partners that are going to be coming on, writing content. And what I can do is interview them to understand their perspective on how they can get people out of pain. And in addition to that, I would use the top 5 trending keywords in that video podcast presentation that would allow us to increase the SEO traffic to the website. You're muted, Charlie.
That starts on the 26th, correct?
Yes. It's going to be Richie and Michael. We're working out a little bit of systems with that, get that all set up, how that's going to be recorded, audio, the intro, commercials, and things like that is going to be promoting becoming a partner with the Comella Foundation and the business training that we're doing. And I also realized it's going to be like the interview is going to be a promo, not only for the business partner, but also for the Comella Foundation, for other people to sign up to become a business partner.
Okay, that sounds good. Then taking over the space at your address in Weaverville.
Yeah. It's the idea that once we get this business training up and running and we're covering our expenses each month, that we would then also be able to take on at least the rent here at the space on the lower half, where we can officially make it like a world headquarters, where we can do people can be worked with in person. We can have a video set up, so it would be like a permanent type of thing where do more like movement, stretching, whole classes and things like that. So it would be more in a gym-like environment.
Cool. And so then there's going to be an Amazon list for donation purchases and donations happening then?
Yes, let me send a link here. I think I got it. Or
I think it's right down below. It's the next page.
Yes, this was. I'm sorry that there's two donate buttons. One is we have it set up through a company called Donor Box. I'm going to put it right below the donations. So that is the donate setup. Just people can go straight to the Comella Foundation and donate. And I also set up an Amazon list. So that is a Comella Foundation Amazon list, and that would be for this space right here. Gym equipment, exercise bands, and things like that, to be able to help people in person once we take over the space.
Okay, and so if someone wanted to donate one or more of those items, how would they do that?
They would click on the link and purchase it, and they can get it shipped right here.
Perfect. And I mean, just for clarity, if they click on the link, does it automatically go to the Comella Foundation business address?
They click on the link to Amazon, and there's
Correct, the Amazon link.
the Amazon link. Let me see if I can explain this. The Amazon link goes to a store or a list, a shopping list, essentially. It's a wish list that I put together. And once they click on those links, they can order it and have it shipped. The address is all right in the there.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah. So trying to streamline it with that as this business thing gets up and running and we're signing people up and we're providing value through the website, blog posts and online training and things like that, that will be set up. The systems will be set up to continue to increase the growth of the nonprofit. You're muted, Charlie.
Sorry, I keep pressing the button. Is there anything else on the list that we need to add for tonight?
If either of you have any other questions for me, there's a lot that's swirling around that eventually I'm going to need some sort of support, like an administrative assistant or something like that. I believe Ian Michael had mentioned he knew how to. He understood that process on how to bring someone on that would be
An intern.
Intern, yeah, there you go. That would probably be something that I neglected to put on that list, but it would also free up a lot of time that I could work on other things.
Yeah, you and I are going to need to talk some this weekend anyway, as we get the collateral together for your podcast.
Mhm.
So we can start to talk about ways that we can make that happen while we're doing that.
Uh, yes, that sounds great. There was something. Oh, we need to have some sort of standard, ethics and standards. And I mentioned this in previously, but we weren't quite there yet. I think we're going to get close as Clinton signs people up and these people are publishing blog posts. Right now, they can get the blog post all set up and they can click publish, but it goes into a queue where someone needs to like look at it, check it before it actually goes live. Because we're kind of medical-ish, we're on the border of medical-ish. I don't want to overstep like there's a line, yeah, on giving medical advice and things like that. And I'm probably going to ask both of you to maybe step in a little bit more to determine that line and the wording, or create some sort of uh, policies around what blog posts will go live.
Yeah, well, state laws are real clear, and that that if a person is not a licensed medical professional,
Right.
their blog posts have to have a disclaimer, even though we could have it on the website separately, like at the bottom, which we absolutely need to have. And you could just copy that verbiage right off of either one of my sites. Every blog post that's written by a non-licensed practitioner of any kind needs to say that this post is not intended to diagnose, treat, prescribe, blah 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 blah, and they therefore cannot use that kind of language in their post either. They can't say I would prescribe blah blah blah, or they can't answer a comment to their blog and say, well, it sounds like you have, and that's, they can't make a diagnostic comment because they're not, they're a massage therapist, or they're a personal trainer or something like that. So they're not treating pain. Nobody that's not a doctor or a nurse practitioner is treating pain. They're helping people with pain. They're helping alleviate pain. But we use words like helping alleviate, or support, the reduction of inflammation, or support healthier healing the body, naturally. So those are the that's the kind of verbiage. And then we should probably have a section on the website where, maybe we jump on on a video chat like this and record it, where Charlie and I can help them to understand that the role of complementary practitioners is to be just that we're not trying to overstep, and do diagnostics. That practitioner who's not licensed as a medical professional will actually grow a stronger practice by not trying to prescribe, by
Right.
saying, hey, we've got some medical professionals involved in the organization. They can help you with some of those medical questions. Here's what I can help you with. And then you go into, the movement support, or the dietary support, or the relaxation support, whatever it is that they're doing.
Okay. So is that something over the next month to a month and a half, the two of you can get on and record a video that would be able to, Clinton could actually put in the very basic level training, as people providing that content.
Yeah, I've actually got a canned. I just have to dig it up. I have a canned PowerPoint that we use for health and wellness coaches.
Okay.
I mean, that was kind of the whole idea behind the health and wellness coach training,
Mhm.
was so that if somebody is not a medical professional and they want to know how to help people, that entire 10-week course is to teach. It's not so you don't teach somebody how to do that in 15 minutes.
Right.
You tell them what the guidelines are, but in order for them to learn how to use the right verbiage, that's why we have that course available to them, so that they can kind of bump their practice up to a higher level.
Mm-hmm.
So I can dig up. There is like a 10 or 15-minute seminar that we did prior to my coming on board with the Comella Foundation. Let me
Okay.
look for that this weekend, and I'll be happy to share that with you guys.
Okay. Yeah, that would be great. If that's something that you could send straight to Clinton
Okay.
to populate, because he's building out those levels, those different
sure.
trainings. That would be awesome.
I think I know where it is. It's on a hard drive that's on a dead computer, and I'm taking those hard drives out over the weekend and putting them in cases that will allow me to access the data that's on them. So I'll be digging around in those hard drives anyway. So I'm sure I'll find it.
Cool. Another thing that's popping into my head, we're going to be, let's see, what is today? Tomorrow, I'm doing there's going to be a recording. We have a grant writer that I'm going to be interviewing that is going to go on the basic level of training. And when a person gets the basic level, everybody above that level also gets that. So when I say basic level of $29 a month, and the grant writing training is going to be in that level, which would teach people how to find grant money for things that they're interested in, causes they are interested in supporting that revolves around helping people with chronic pain. And by partnering with the Comella Foundation, they would have access to that money that otherwise they wouldn't normally have access to. So that's one of the business strategy perks of those different levels of training, is they're getting so much with that monthly partnering with the Comella Foundation. Craig has also mentioned that we would also go through, and Jim Michael, this is something I'd also like to talk with you further on, is like a business certification kind of thing, where they would have a Comella Foundation logo on their website, kind of like a Better Business Bureau type of logo that they're partnering with us.
Sure.
And I've talked to Clinton about rolling out sales teams in different areas, in specific cities, where we would develop an area and then offer like in-person business health consulting and wellness packages for businesses and things like that. So we're thinking very big, and we're getting the system set up to be able to roll that out and provide that type of support, or initially around the country, and I'm certain we can do it around the world as well.
Awesome.
Okay, so is there anything else that we need to add to the agenda for tonight?
I think just those two pieces that I had just mentioned, adding those to it. What was it?
It'll all be captured. It'll all be captured in the transcript.
The disclaimer. Okay, got it.
So then that leaves our next agenda item, which is our next meeting, Sunday, November the 15th of this year at 7 p.m.
Yes. So that was a lot. We've gotten a lot, got a lot done over the past 3 months. And I'm pretty excited about the next 3 months as that we dial in this business funnel what it's going to look like is probably going to be so significantly different than what we're talking about today. So,
Yeah, I would suggest that we count on having these other players that in a traditional brick and mortar foundation would be staff members on the next board meeting, so that we're actually hearing from them, because by then there will be progress made in all of those areas, and it would be nice to hear from them.
okay. That is one of the transitions I'm going to make. I had been sending out, G and Michael, you were writing the messages that were going out to the list. And then I was sending the emails out to the blog contributors that weren't necessarily contributing to the blog. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out probably one more email to all those people to get them to sign up on the main list and use that main list as the means of communication. So I would be taking over those emails and sending those out more often.
Cool.
So that's going to happen over the next, in the short term, probably the next couple of weeks. That'll happen.
Sounds good. I apologize. I've got a 7:30, and I didn't realize it was already after 7:30, so
Okay.
I have to jump.
Okay. Well,
All right, guys.
I thank you. Thank you for being here, Jim Michael.
Good to see you guys.
Yep, good to see you. Take care.
I don't know how to get out.
So, Charlie, as far as we could just wrap the meeting.
Yeah, I'll call for meeting adjourned.
Cool. Thank you. And I'll record. Find that. Stop.